And financially, we spent everything we had fighting this. And eventually the day came that I had to walk into a federal courthouse in Salt Lake City, Utah. And at this point, I have people that aren't happy with me. My husband, I remember my husband and my children sitting in that courtroom that day. And when I look back at them, I thought, how in the heck did I bring you guys here? I felt so lonely. When you go into a courtroom, it's a very sterile place. It's not, you, I don't know how to explain it except sterile. Anyone that's been there or has family that's been there, the denial slips away at that point. And I remember going, oh yeah, they're going to max me out today. They're going to give me the maximum sentence. And I was facing, my range was 0 to 7 years. Before I walked in that courtroom, I thought I might get a year or probation, which was denial for me. As soon as I sat down, I knew they were going to give me 7 years. And I remember feeling the weight of that. And I just started to cry because I knew it was going to be a long time before things were going to be okay for my family. So I got up. It's a strange thing because they say everything bad you've ever done in your life and you wonder who they're talking about. You're like, that's not me. And they keep going back and forth. And I thought, who are they talking about? And then the judge said, Miss Louder, do you have anything you want to say? And I just stood up and I said, I'm just so sorry. I am so sorry for the choices that I made that brought my family here. I'm sorry to my community and to the court. And he said, thank you, Miss Louder. You'll be a mother again someday. I'm sentencing you to 84 months in federal prison. And I remember turning around and looking at my husband, and my husband was crying. And the judge had asked the marshals to take me into custody right there. And my husband stood at the podium and he said, please don't do that to her today. Please give her some time to say goodbye to our children. My lawyer started to argue, and the judge didn't want to hear anyone, but he did listen to my husband. And he said, I'll give her 8 weeks. And I remember looking back at Chad that day, and I felt honored to be his wife. And I knew that we would get through that together. When we walked out of the courtroom, our older children were standing there and said, Mom, what can we do? And I said, just take the little ones home. And I remember when Chad and I were driving back, I couldn't even speak. Like it took me a couple of hours to say a word. And he just looked at me and he goes, what's wrong? Is there anything I can do? And I couldn't speak. I was so shocked that I could have made those choices. How could I have been so foolish to have traded something as valuable as time with my family for something as foolish as money? And the world has never looked the same from that day for me. I knew that it never would.